In this video, I'm going to show you how to search for hot items by keyword search. So once you open up the software, you click on Hot Items, and then you click on the keyword search. Let me start from the beginning here. So when you open up the software, it looks like this. And then you click Hot Items, and then click on over here. And what you have here is the keyword you want to enter, the eBay site that you want to search. We'll just stick with ebay.com. You have the option of selecting a category. These are just the main categories. I usually just select all categories. It's up to you. And then down here you have the option of searching in title and description. Now if you select this option, you'll get more results returned, because what happens is Hot Item Finder is utilizing the eBay search engine, and then the eBay search engine will not only search in the auction titles but also in the auction description or the auction ad. And so that will give you more results, and therefore you could possibly find more hot items. Here's another option here, completed listings only. Now this is one of the most powerful features of Hot Item Finder that a lot of different software programs on the internet do not provide. Now I gotta emphasize that the software does not search any online database. It actually goes directly to eBay and gets the information directly from eBay real time, which means live data. It's not curing any stored database, anything like that. It's always up to date, no matter what. So that's a very powerful feature of Hot Item Finder. With the completed listings, now what this does is searches in eBay's completed listings section, and eBay keeps completed listings in that section for up to 90 days. So this is very powerful. Now the one disadvantage to using the completed listings option here, it takes a lot longer for Hot Item Finder to gather all that information. But I'll tell you one thing, it's a lot faster than doing it manually. Another little option I've included in here is you can only show the completed items that have actually sold. It makes sense that if you're going to research completed items, why not only look at the ones that sold, not the ones that didn't sell, because you're not really interested in those types of auctions. So that's another option. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to start by showing an example. That's the easiest way to explain how all this works, by showing you a quick example. Now this here has to do with the number of pages that it's going to search. Let me give you an example here. Let's say I was going to search for an iPod, looking for hot items related to iPod. Now when I click this button, it goes to eBay and it gathers the total amount of pages that will basically be returned by eBay search engine. Now sometimes that could be upwards of around 10,000 pages at 200 listings per page. That's a lot. So I put this extra option in here that when you go and click the search, you're going to see the total amount of pages come down here. I'll show you just in a moment. And then you can always just abort the search and come back here and limit the amount of pages if you'd like, if you don't feel like waiting that long. Let's go ahead and select a minimum number of bids here. So when you're searching for hot items on eBay, an item is basically considered hot if the auction has around 20, probably over 25 to 30 bids. It's considered to be a fairly popular or hot item. I got a lot of bids on it. So let's go ahead and just put in 20. I'll go ahead and click Get Hot Items. I'm just going to keep this on all. And what Hot Item Finder is doing is going and setting some variables and returning all of the hot items. It found 2 pages containing hot items, and it's just processing those 2 pages right now. It's done the first page and the second page, and we found 342 items in our list. And so what we can do first is explain what this is all about. As you can see here, you have a column which displays the number of bids. This is the item number of the particular corresponding auction. The price, the buy it now price, if there is one. Now you got to realize that Hot Item Finder is returning auctions that have bids. Now there are buy it now items that also have a bidding option, and those are the auctions that are going to be returned. You see, if it's just a straight buy it now item, then it won't show up in here because it doesn't have any bids. And it doesn't really make sense because you can't determine if that item is hot because it doesn't have a number of bids. It talks about the you can do the shipping here and the time that it's going to end. Now, if you're having troubles trying to view data in a column, you can easily at the very top just expand it like this. Okay, or let's say a column was like this and you could tell there's something missing there. You can just double click. You can see that little splitting icon thing that shows up there. Just go ahead, or cursor I should say, just double click and it'll automatically resize for you. In fact, you can do that with every column. Like that. Okay? Another thing you can do here is you can, at the very top of each of the columns, you can just click that column and it'll automatically sort the column for you. So we can automatically see the auction that got the most number of bids. And to actually view this auction, all you have to do is click this link right here and it will open up in your default browser. And we can take a look at this hot item, which turns out to be a Panasonic HDD, which is I believe a hard drive camcorder in mint condition. And it's received a total of 54 bids and it's going to be ending in 1 minute. Usually when auctions are ending, they receive the most number of bids. So that's why the number of bids for this particular item is really high, is because of the fact that it's ending in a few minutes. And that's just a little quick tip here, that when you list an item on eBay, you're going to receive the most hits on the first day that you list the item and the last day that you list the item. So it's a good idea to list your item. I always recommend listing an item on the weekend because most people are on eBay buying stuff on the weekend. So if you list it for a 7-day auction, list your item on Saturday or Sunday, so that will end on Saturday or Sunday. And it's a good idea to list your item around 5 or 6-ish Eastern Standard Time when most people are on the computer. Okay, let's just minimize this. And again, you can go through all these and check out these different hot items on there. Now, here's another thing we can do. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the editing tools here. I'll provide another video teaching how to do that, but let's say you wanted to get rid of some of these items in this hot item list before you saved it, for example. Well, you can select a bunch of rows. excuse me. You can select a bunch of rows here, like so, with your mouse, and you can click the delete rows if you'd like, and it will remove those rows that are selected. Okay. Let's say you're wanting to look for something in here. You can use the find little option here. When you click that, you see a bar shows up, the find bar. You can quickly find an item in there, say iPod, and it will find it for you really fast. Find next. You can see going. I can't really kind of see it there. To put it in better view. There we go. Sorry, I forgot to hit the highlight button, and it will go through and look at each one for you. Okay. Now let's unhighlight that. Let's get into searching for completed items now. So I'm going to clear this grid. I'm going to call this a data grid here. And let's go ahead and search completed items. I'm going to leave this unchecked. And I'm only going to search for, let's say, 5 pages. And I'm going to reduce the number of bids here to 5. So it takes a moment for the software to communicate with eBay to receive some data. Now, this is one thing that's very important that I have to emphasize. When you first start using the completed items option, you're required to log into your eBay account corresponding to the eBay site that you're trying to search. In this case, we're trying to search ebay.com. Now, the reason is because eBay requires that you have to log in order to see the completed items data. In other words, you have to be a registered eBay user to access that data. So You have to log in. There's nothing I can do about that. That's eBay policy. So what you can do is all you have to do is click the close button here, and the window will automatically open. I got to stress another thing that's very important. As you can see here, the browser that opened up is the Windows Internet Explorer. Unfortunately, you have to have the Internet Windows Explorer installed on your computer in order for this feature to work. Now, it doesn't have to be your default browser, because I know a lot of people love Firefox, like I do, and they use Firefox as their default browser. But you have to have Windows Internet Explorer installed because Hot Item Finder utilizes the Windows IE engine. And so you have to have it installed, and you have to log into your eBay account through your IE browser. It's just the way that eBay works, and it's the way that I was able to design the software. There's no way around that. So all you have to do is just log into your account, and once you've logged in through your browser, like you would any other time, go ahead and just close that browser because it's not needed anymore. And if you go back to your software and click Get Hot Items, it should work properly now. Shall I take a moment? There we go. It's going through. You can see here it found 1,639 pages for the term iPod, and I'm only going to search 5 pages. And it's only going to take roughly. It gives you an estimated amount of time here that it's downloading from the internet. I got to tell you that my internet connection is pretty fast, so you may not have the same numbers as here, so it may take a little bit longer if you have a slower connection. So it only took half a minute. 32 seconds. I think it was actually faster than that, but and it returned 149 items that had over 5 bids. And we can search here. Now what you see here is the price of these items, and you can see some are green and some are red. The red items are the ones that have not sold, and the green ones are the ones that have sold. So you can see here, actually the majority of them sold. Now what you do is if you select this option here, well, it will only display the ones that are green. In other words, the ones that sold. And to make that more clear, let me just search with no bids, and I'm only going to search one page. And the little error message, the little message you saw up there is just warning you that if you continue your search, you're going to lose your data. So if you don't want to lose your data, it's a good idea to save your data. Now, if you want to save your data, it's very simple. I'm going to provide another video teaching how to open and saving, but all you got to do is click here and save and choose one of the formats. But you can watch that video for more details on that. Now you can see here there's a lot of items here that didn't sell, right? Okay, and a whole bunch that did. Well, say you're not interested, like I'm not interested at all in the ones that didn't sell. So I just want to see the ones that did sell. All you got to do is click this little checkbox here and go ahead and do your search again. And it should return just all the green items. And that's what it did here. There's only 73 instead of 200, and they're all green. So if you go through here, you can see that they all sold, and you can search, you can sort by the bids and see the different corresponding items here. So that will basically conclude this video. I just wanted to go through the features of how to use the searching for hot items using the keyword search. In another video, I'm going to teach you how to use the category search, which I personally like using a little bit better. Well, thanks for watching.